If you're a fan of the show, you'll know that Roland and I love talking about process mining, but our last episode on the subject went a little long. But instead of leaving these on the cutting room floor, we've got some ideas and thoughts that we'd like to share with you in this very special What's Your Baseline Shorts. Please enjoy.
Welcome to What's Your Baseline Shorts.
In this series, we're distilling down our usual long-form content from the What's Your Baseline podcast into a more concentrated and visual form.
Right, but most importantly, this is a brief, focused discussion about a key topic in architecture, process, business, change, and so much more.
One topic, one session, one take. That's What's Your Baseline Shorts.
My name is Roland Volt, and today I'm joined by my co-host, J.M. Erlinson.
Yeah, I think there's an emerging piece of the puzzle here, which is the idea of customer mining. And I think that's something that a lot of organizations now with their, they can more clearly track the linger times and the clicks on screens of customers as they navigate through their website or through their app or things like that. I think customer mining is an emerging component of process mining that ties nicely into customer journey mapping. One of the things that I find with a lot of customer journey mapping projects is that they are a lot of conjecture. Mm-hmm. People are guessing as to what customers are doing. They're using personas to drive thought work rather than data work. And they're using net promoter scores, so these customer surveys and feedback, and tying that into the customer journey. But it's kind of like a loose fit. Mm-hmm. Like you can see that it's probably affecting it in this way, but you're guesstimating. You're using your best practice knowledge and experience to do so. Customer mapping and customer experience mapping is, I think, or mining is going to be one of the more prevalent capabilities for systems as we get more into that sort of big brother monitoring customer activity.
Even though I found it interesting because I had a meeting with a client a couple of months ago, and they were asking for reporting and dancing around performance and all these type of things. And then I showed process mining to them. And I said, that's exactly what we were asking you. Why did you answer the question with a no? And I said, well, this is process mining. You were asking for customers, Yeah. And then I said, but it's just the process that the customer does. And then it fell, how do you say that in English? I don't know, like dandruff out of my Goldilocks, And I said, yeah, they're damn right, So I think I fell into the trap of the misconception, being professionally deformed in process management, to think that there's a difference between a BPMN process and a customer journey map. Those are two complete different things. While in all reality, it's actually not. Mm-hmm. It's just a different actor. Right? It's just a different visual presentation that you do with customer journeys. Of course, you can mine customer journeys with process mining. Roland, damn it. You should have known this. Mm-hmm. So I had my aha moment at that point in time. But that's a good point because I have not seen a process mining tool that would go and then actually map out what they discovered as a customer journey map.
Not yet, but I suspect that might be coming down. I hope so. It'll be coming down the line in the future. And it's not like they can't do it; they just aren't thinking about it. Mm-hmm. And one of the things I'm seeing a lot about is not just keeping the boundaries of process mining at the doorstep. I think a lot of companies think of process mining as what do we own? And they forget the idea that they also have not ownership, but they have investment in processes that are part of their ecosystem. And I remember there's a technology distributor company that I was working with a couple of years ago that was really concerned about the movement of goods that involved a third party logistics company. So they were actually physically moving the goods from place to place. And they had originally put out this as like step one was we get the good and ship the good. We've certified that it's got on the truck. And then step two was we received it at destination. But there's a lot of intermediate steps that were also captured in transactional systems. What we actually did is we used that to figure out what borders were difficult for their goods to cross in particular, not just for this logistics company, but it was an excellent way of helping to uncover the intricacies of the supply chain. What a powerful use case, right?
Yeah, and when you think about this and extrapolate it a little bit in the future, right? What you currently do with process mining is basic process optimization, right? So you look for resource utilization and frequencies and all that type of stuff to make the process run smoother.
Yeah.
But what would happen if you would extend this? So think about the times that we're living in. And now I'm very esoteric, right? We all either enjoyed or feared all those heat waves that we have.
Right.
I think any reasonable person, caution, political statement ahead, any reasonable person will not deny that we're living in a global climate change period.
Yes.
So I think a good use case for process mining would be to add the impact in sustainability to this too.
Absolutely.
Right. So you look, how do you use certain resources? Is it ecologically better to ship something by train, by truck, by ship, whatever, right? And make that part of your analysis.
Yeah.
Right. And I think these are things, if you think about this, these are things that really rely on an underlying process.
Right.
But you're looking at it from a different angle. And I think sustainability is one of the key things of our time where we quickly have to find a way to fix this. And process mining or mining in general could be a good step forward on this.
Yeah, I also see this brought up a lot in ESG, so environmental, social, and governance. So certainly sustainability is a part of that on the environmental side, but there's also a lot more topics that are things you can audit from a social perspective, from a governance perspective, things like child labor laws. Things like, hiring practices in general, things like, the practices that go into maintaining certain facilities and capabilities for your employees that make it humane for them to work. There are certain companies that are maybe not doing that on purpose these days. Then once again, political statement, but it's true that an audit through process mining would be able to help them understand where they could effectively move the needle, where they probably should do.
Yeah. But I think this is a step too far for today, because when you think about emissions, those could be an attribute of a facility, or it could be an attribute of a machine, or could be an attribute of whatever, a truck. Right. I think these are things that you can calculate. So it's not too far a step from the event log that you have, but it's data that whatever an IoT device or something else will pick up. So I think it's feasible today, while what you said would be maybe the next step to put that in.
Well, I mean, it's not too far to think like, if I'm looking at a delivery truck, say some company that's renowned for not installing air conditioning in the delivery trucks, and I would see through process mining that they took an unusual high number of breaks that had to go and get refreshments to make it to cool down the truck, to cool themselves down, and I would correlate that with the weather, and I would correlate that with a internal sensor of temperature. I could start to understand the cost of not installing air conditioners in my trucks, and
or the number of liquid in the pee bottle of some truck driver for a unbeknownst global e-commerce vendor.
Maybe that's one step too far. Wasn't that fun? Well, hopefully you enjoyed the episode, folks. If you'd like to reach out to us and leave us comments or feedback, please send us a note at hello@whatsyourbaseline.com, or follow us on LinkedIn and send us a message. We'd love to hear from you and get some great ideas for future shows, topics you'd like us to cover, and the like. Now, of course, you can go to whatsyourbaseline.com for all your different thought leadership and article and podcast needs. Go check out our previous episodes. And until then, friends, I've been J.M. Erlinson, and that was the amazing Roland Volt, and we will see you in the next one.